The Oakland Raiders, perhaps one of the most notorious and well-recognized brands in the entire National Football League.
According to Michael Lewis, in a scholarly article titled Franchise Relocation and Fan Allegiance, he believes that there are ultimately two aspects to an individual's love for a particular organization.
Those two factors are a civic allegiance and a symbolic allegiance. The difference between these two forms of loyalty is that civic allegiance means that a fan supports a certain team because of where they live and their passion for that city, whereas a symbolic allegiance references more toward the fan who feels as though their loyalty for an organization is symbolic of their individual identity. Although these two traits often intertwine, no NFL franchise fully encompasses both of these characteristics as well as the Oakland Raiders.
Good afternoon. My name is Tom Ams, and welcome to the Sports Debate. Today, we will be discussing the NFL's latest decision to relocate the Oakland Raiders to Las Vegas in 2020. As a lifelong Raiders fan myself, I've consistently embraced the unique identity that the franchise has created for itself. On today's show, we will begin by taking a look at the extensive history of the Oakland Raiders. Then, we will dissect how the Raiders' relocation took place and all the individuals that influenced it. And finally, we'll investigate the implications associated with the NFL in a gambling market and how Raiders fans may feel back at home.
Whether it's the uniquely menacing black hole or the just win baby mentality, Raider Nation has long been associated with the National Football League. By 1963, the Oakland Raiders had hired a new head coach, Al Davis, and under Davis, the entire structure and identity of the Oakland Raiders drastically changed. Al Davis instilled a sense of winning in his program, and the organization adopted a commitment to excellence mentality. Over the next 20 years, the Oakland Raiders obtained winning records for 19 of the 20 seasons, while winning 12 divisional championships, 4 conference championships, and 3 Super Bowls.
Unfortunately, due to an outdated stadium, Al Davis relocated the franchise to LA in 1982 before eventually bringing it back to Oakland in 1995.
Since moving back to California's Bay Area, the Raiders have experienced a mix of winning and losing seasons. However, their passionate and die-hard fan base never wavered and the stadium was consistently packed.
Unfortunately, the Raiders stadium didn't get any newer, and by 2014, the team consistently found itself in the bottom of league revenue generated by fan attendance. Therefore, this prompted NFL owners to entertain the idea of moving the team to a more affluent area with a brand new stadium.
The Raider Nation is the last of the blue-collar, salt-of-the-earth fan bases, and it absolutely breaks my heart to lose this team. Through his research, Brugnick concluded that the best relocation sites would be Los Angeles, California, and San Antonio, Texas. Unfortunately, in 2015, along with the Oakland Raiders, both the St. Louis Rams and the San Diego Chargers expressed interest in relocating to LA. And, after a proposed $2.6 billion LA stadium that would be completely financed by Rams' owner Stan Kroenke, the NFL voted to relocate the Rams to LA and allowed the Chargers one extra year in San Diego before ultimately joining them as well. Following this decision, Mark Davis was pissed and stated, quote, "I finished third in a 3-horse race." Now, due to a lack of relocation options, the Raiders found themselves scrambling for a plan, until 2 very influential figures came along, Sheldon Adelson and Jerry Jones. Mark Davis needed a lot in order to successfully relocate his franchise, including land, a massive amount of capital, and most importantly, leverage in order to obtain the required 3/4 relocation vote from the NFL owners. Enter Sheldon Adelson, a Las Vegas casino tycoon with an estimated net worth of over $32 billion. Adelson is the 14th richest person in America, and he wanted to formulate an agreement to bring the Raiders to his hometown of Las Vegas, Nevada.
But why would the NFL decide to move a team from the league's 6th largest media market to the country's 40th largest market? On top of this concern is the league's long-standing stance against gambling and the infiltration of sports betting into its game.
However, due to a proposed $750 million contribution of free public money from Sheldon Adelson and the state of Nevada, the NFL quickly became intrigued by the opportunity to gain a brand new stadium that could host the Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, and even the Combine, all for free.
Now, all that Mark Davis and the Raiders needed to relocate to Vegas was someone with leverage and enough power to influence the other owners to agree.
Introducing Jerry Jones, the owner of the NFL's Dallas Cowboys, as well as one of the league's most influential and powerful leaders. According to several NFL owners, Jerry Jones is so influential within the league that he is oftentimes referred to as the shadow commissioner. Essentially, Jones had two reasons to assist the Raiders in moving to Las Vegas. The first was to keep an NFL franchise from relocating to San Antonio and competing with his Dallas Cowboys. Secondly, Jones is part owner of a privately held merchandise and concessions company called Legends Hospitality, and if Jones could influence the Raiders' move to Vegas, his company would gain the rights to the new stadium's concessions. Each of these influences led to one of the most anticlimactic NFL relocation votes of all time, with a 31-1 majority of NFL owners deciding to relocate the Raiders to Las Vegas. The Raiders and the NFL are leaving a large and revitalized market for a seedy and slumping sprawl town, where the hope is that the home team will fill half the stadium with its fans while being dependent on visitors' fickle loyalty on any given Sunday. Although relocating the Raiders to Las Vegas resulted in an increase of the franchise's valuation from $1.4 million in 2015 to nearly $3 million in 2017, the ultimate success of the verdict has yet to be determined. Las Vegas is uncharted territory for the NFL, and the city poses a number of alarming challenges for the Raiders franchise. For starters, the city of Las Vegas contains less than half the population than the city of Oakland does. Now, for the next 2 seasons, while the Las Vegas Stadium is being built, the Raiders will continue to play in Oakland. However, thousands of Bay Area fans have already canceled their season tickets, and Mark Davis's franchise could be hosting games in a dismal and lackluster environment until the Nevada Stadium is completed. You have an obligation to recognize that professional football teams are the lifeblood, culture, and identity of the places where they play.
This quote by Oakland's mayor represents the last-second plea that the city extended to the league prior to the 31-1 relocation vote. However, ultimately, the league's addiction to free public money, coupled with the personal incentives of Jerry Jones and Sheldon Adelson, proved to be more valuable than a city's pride and history, resulting in the city of Oakland once again being without a football team. Now, only time will truly determine the fate of the league's third relocation in the last 15 months. However, the circumstances certainly evoke the question, Sin City or bust.